the first few phases of the MCU were realistic, were gritty, they were dark. And people liked that. Then came Phase 4 and Phase 5 and eventually Phase 6, and people don't like it anymore because it's too lighthearted. It keeps telling too much jokes. It won't take itself serious. But what right? The MCU started off more comic accurate. And would this help? Would this change in tone, right? Is it based on nostalgia? Would it be better if it was more comic accurate? Now, for this 3-part miniseries that I'll be working on, I will have to stick to. I'm going to stick to the original MCU layout. I'm gonna try. Now I'm not gonna be bringing in the X-Men or Fantastic Four, but I might be changing films, making Black Widow and Ant-Man Phase 1. I might be doing that. So without further ado, let's jump into Phase 1. Okay, so this is Phase 1. Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America the First Avenger, and Avengers. All of you from the UK, Avengers Assemble. Now, what are we going to do to make it more comic accurate? So, first, to make it more streamlined, more comic accurate, more weirder, wackier, we're going to be adding Ant-Man into this phase. And we might be including Black Widow so it can actually make Natasha's sacrifice more of an impact or something more impactful. So we might have to remove Iron Man 2. And what I'm gonna do with Iron Man 2, I'm gonna do a bit of a bold decision is remove Whiplash, and yeah, that's about basically it for Iron Man 2. And also, instead of his heart problem, I'm gonna be making it a drinking problem, or making one of the other, so it's not complicated. So it's gonna be he's already got another problem, right? Because I'm sticking to comic accuracy here, and if we want it to be comic accurate, and now the MCU has a black Nick Fury. Now the mainline Marvel Comics universe has a white Nick Fury. So, what am I gonna do? Well, why is black Nick Fury? Well, in the Ultimates universe, they made Nick Fury black. Now, the Ultimates universe is way complicated. It's supposed to be more of a realistic Marvel universe. So there's a lot of creative liberties, including giving Tony an inoperable brain tumor that makes him want to become Iron Man. That is Tony Stark's origin. He doesn't get stuck in a lab with a box of scraps. He has a brain tumor. Now, that could work. We could maybe have that so we can link it to the Ultimates universe a bit more. Now, it might be a bit of a weird decision, but if we want to maintain the realistic aspect of the MCU, and if we want to have a black Nick Fury, we have to bring in some ultimate aspects as well, other than just a black Nick Fury, if we want it to be comic accurate, entirely comic accurate. And if we have to entirely base it off of the Ultimates universe, then yeah, so be it. We have to make Tony Stark have a brain tumor instead of being stuck in a cave. Or we could combine the two, making Tony forcing Tony to work, and that's one of his biggest changes. That's what makes him want to become Iron Man full time, instead of because realistically, why does Tony want to become Iron Man in Iron Man 1, he's got out of the cave, he has a change of heart, but you can do that financially. You can do that financial wise. But if we have the tumor inside of his brain, inoperable, he can't do anything, then that kind of also forces Tony to work as a character, so he has to actually become a hero. And plus, the whole point, what he's trying to do in the Iron Man, like, part of, like, the Ultimates universe, right, is, well, he's gonna die eventually, so he has to make his, like, himself more heroic. So that's what he does. So, and another point of making Tony have a humor, right, and making it more like the Ultimates universe, is Tony doesn't reveal his secret identity this early on in the comics. He only does it like really far, he only does it like far into his career. But in the Ultimates, he does it like straight away, almost immediately. So, yeah, that's another reason why we should make it the Ultimate Tony. And, like, combine it with the box of Scraps almonds. Two birds with one stone, really. Oh, and if we are going to be recasting, like, Hulk, I kind of want to, like, keep this design up until we get to Professor Hulk, because, like, that way kind of, like, an evolution, right, of his design, and he, like, slowly becomes, like, human in that. Like, at least fixes the Professor Hulk storyline from Endgame, which I thought was kind of poo. And it makes him more civilized over time. So it actually shows off Hulk's character development. And I haven't seen the Hulk movie in a long time, so yeah, we could do, like, I don't know, a lot of snip of everything, and make the leader actually the leader. If you don't know who the leader is, he's a guy with, like, he's a bloke with a green head, a green big head. I don't know why I said bloke. This is what he looks like in the MCU tie-in comics, so yeah. You could, like, I don't know, do whatever you want with that as you will. And this is what he looks like in the movie. We're gonna, like, make him look like this or something. I don't know how, maybe we, like, show his origin off screen or something. I don't know, like, the Hulk in this universe has apparently been going on for ages, so maybe he has, like team fought against him at one point. For one, right, what we want to do is focus more of our time as much as possible on Asgard, because, like, it'll be like making a Green Lantern movie on Earth. I mean, like, come on, who would have thought that thing? Oh wait, they did it and it sucked. And also, we're keeping the helmet. We're gonna try and find a helmet that actually fits and looks good, because I want the comic accurate suits. I'm tired of just seeing bland and stale suits. I want to see one that doesn't look complex, doesn't look ugly, that looks simplistic and comic accurate. The fucking Fortnite skins got that right. Fortnite. Keep that in mind. Fortnite got the skins right, and the MCU got them all wrong. Keep that in mind. That the Fortnite skins got it right, and the MCU suits got it wrong. So we don't want Fortnite to rub it in our faces, so we're gonna have to use our comic accurate suits. So give Thor a helmet. It could be this one, or either this one, definitely not this one. Maybe, like, make that one silver or something. We'll talk. And also, bit of a weird nitpick, right? If we want to show Thor's humanity, right, then bring in Dr. Donald Blake, Thor's doctor's side. Same way Jane is. They could, like, easily link them two together by having Thor become a doctor. It could be even easier than them running over Thor. It will be, like, that easy, right? And you don't even need to, like, include the other characters, because they're just wasteless. They're not funny. They're not interesting. They're poof. Just remove them. Ant-Man was a great movie, and I don't think I need to tell you that, because you know Ant-Man was a great Marvel movie. It was a great origin, and it was a great heist movie. And Ant-Man, right, is a crucial part of the Avengers in the comics. And in the movies, right, they make Scott Lang the prominent Ant-Man. When in the comics, right, Hank Pym is more crucial, because in the comics, he makes Ultron. And then a couple years later, he becomes Yellow Jacket and beats his wife. Yeah, Hank Pym is a bit of a dick, and I understand why they made Scott Lang the prominent Ant-Man. But he's useful to the entire story to the MCU. He is a crucial member to the Avengers. He is a founding member. And plus, Yellow Jacket as Darren Cross, right? I don't really care for Darren Cross. I haven't seen Ant-Man Quantumania, but I know he's going to be the new, I know he's going to be MODOK. So, why not make MODOK the main villain of this movie? If you plan on doing that. Or make Hank Pym Yellow Jacket, or better yet, make Hank Pym and Janet the main characters, right? And use another bald-headed bad guy from Ant-Man's Rogue Gallery, and build up to the Yellow Jacket storyline. Ant-Man's first ever villain was a bald, scientist named Egghead, and he was basically Darren Cross without the Yellow Jacket suit. Now, how I would combine Darren Cross and Egghead, right, Darren Cross from this movie, right, would be to make him, steal the Pym particles and, I don't know, use the, he wants to, use the Pym particles to make him smarter. That way he could make him link to Yellow Jacket in the future. I mean, MODOK. And that way, right, you don't need to waste the Yellow Jacket storyline, because you set up the Yellow Jacket, you've set up MODOK, and you've, already got a few villains to spare from Ant-Man's mythos instead of using Iron Man's villains. And yes, MODOK and Ghost are Iron Man villains. So yeah, you could have used those instead. So that's my only tweak to Ant-Man. Just make it into a current movie in this timeline, right? Make it in phase 1. Oh, and another movie before we get to the last two is Black Widow and Hawkeye. Because in the comics, these two are a couple. And plus, we're getting an OG Avenger movie for every movie now, so why not make these two into a spy thriller or something? Make it the same plot as Hawkeye, but instead of Kate Bishop, it's like Black Widow, and make it a love story as well, and also so you can sprinkle in Hydra, make not a Hydra range and then portray him or something. You know, it needs to be comic accurate so we can build up to events. And plus, it could also link to S.H.I.E.L.D. and that. Make that into a spin-off at that point. And eventually, we could get these two characters actually, developed. Because I loved Hawkeye, right? And I didn't like Black Widow in the movie. Now, if we make them two into a movie of their own, and that way we can skip out the Hulk and Nat romance, then that way it can be actually good. And also, no one wants to see Hulk and Nat. People want to see Hawkeye and Nat, or Steve and Nat. Everyone wants to see anyone but Hulk. Alright? And their relationship in the comics is very in-depth. And the portrayal of Nat portraying Hawkeye, right, is what makes him become a hero. Because in the comics, these two were originally bad guys, and Hawkeye found out that Nat was a bad guy, so he changed. So that could be how we link it to, it could be an origin story. And plus, it'll be miles better than Black Widow, right? And we don't need to use Kingpin the future. So that's my pitch for the Hawkeye and Black Widow movie. And you might have noticed how I skipped on Iron Man 2. That's because we're saving that movie for phase 2, because we need a pattern here. We need pattern, because every second movie, right, was in phase 2. And then there's Iron Man 3, which was the odd one out, so yeah, gotta keep to the pattern. Captain America the First Avenger was a great movie, up until the Red Skull reveal. It was a great movie, because it was a character study. And how it became more war centered towards the second half was a bit poo. So why not continue seeing how Cap works as a character, how he's a star-spangled man with a plan and a heart, because that's the entire point of Captain America. He's basically Superman, how he chooses to inspire people and will never give up hope and will never kill anyone, because I don't want any of the MCU characters to kill anyone in these movies, despite them being a Nazi or not, because we need to save our villains so that way the Masters of Evil and Thunderbolts, so that way we can actually have big bad teams and the Sinister Six. DC, right? DC even got this right. And I know it's starting out right. We don't need Ironmonger, we don't need Egghead, we don't need Frost Giant McSteve. We don't need them guys. We need the big bads, the heavy hitters. And sure, the fake out death that Loki gave was pointless really, because in Avengers, right, he finds out that Loki's still alive. So yeah, don't kill anyone. Don't show Cap with a gun, especially. We need our heroes to be optimistic and inspiring, and we don't want them to kill, because killing is wrong and superheroes should never kill whatsoever. Also, I know that suit looks sick and all, but we should really see this suit more. I know it looks silly and that, but come on, right? It's I'm not gonna say it's perfect time to be silly, but come on, we've got Red Skulls over here, and we've got this suit that can't go to waste. I mean, it's the perfect time. Maybe you could show that suit in the the first Avenger main suit in the Avengers movie, but why waste it? Maybe remove the dangle ears and make them actual metallic ears and that. But I don't know, I can't really complain of this suit. I think it's good, even though it's cheesy. I still like it because it symbolizes how much it symbolizes Cap's hopefulness or darkness and that. How he's just a kid from Brooklyn. That's what I like about comic accuracy, that it's just so goofy. Okay, now we've got to the Avengers, right? And maybe the way they originally team up, right, is not because they want to track down Loki, because they don't know Loki's alive, they don't know he's on this earth, right? They know about the Tesseract, but that's lost at sea. So maybe the reason why they assemble is because it's Nick Fury wants the brightest minds to I don't know, unfreeze Cap and study the Tesseract, and that's how they attack the Avengers, and that they sneak on board. And we're not gonna have Hawkeye brainwashed, right? Because I kind of don't like how that happened, right, in the original movie. Okay, so the basic lineup will be Hawkeye, Iron Man, Wasp, Ant-Man, Thor, Hulk, and Captain America. And Black Widow is going to be off doing her own thing, sneaking around the helicarrier, not the helicopter. And everyone's being oh, what's she doing? She's doing something menacing. And Hawkeye doesn't trust her, and he's on the run because she kind of ratted on the Hawkeye. She framed him, so he's on the run. And at the end of the movie, right, they'll someone tell they all prove Hawkeye's innocence, and Hawkeye will be back and introduced to the full-on Avengers team, and Black Widow and being Hydra would also lead to the whole entire Winter Soldier storyline, with the entirety of S.H.I.E.L.D. being Hydra. So yeah, that's about it for the Avengers and Phase 1. One thing I forgot to mention in the entire thing was secretly, not secretly, Hank would be making Ultron. And he will be all good, and he'll be essentially what the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes Ultron will be like. And this is I'm kind of basing it entirely off of that show. This entire cinematic universe, right? The MCU, I'm basing it entirely off of that as my structure, because comic accuracy, right, in TV shows and movies makes, I don't know, I'm going this. I'm making it too lengthy, and so next video, if I choose to make this into a series, right, I might retcon a few things. Let me know what you thought about this in the comments, and let me know if you want me to do more, and maybe do more challenges where I have to, I don't know, make the DCEU more comic accurate, and make, I don't know, and the entire thing that I'm trying to do is work with the characters that the MCU still has, right, at this point in each phase, right. So I'm not going to be introducing Spider-Man in Phase 2. I'm not going to be doing that. I'm not going to be introducing the entire X-Men. If I want to make Wanda and Quicksilver mutants, right, what I'm going to have to do is make them Inhumans. And I know I will hate that, because I just, that sounds really, 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 really dumb to me. So I'm going to have to make those creative liberties that the MCU had to do. And yeah, other than that's the video. That's that done. Alright, maybe try and find a better video other than this. And sorry for wasting time. Bye.